Welcome to MJC Kitchens and Bathrooms. For today's job, all we're doing, I'm doing this job because I don't normally do these sorts of job, but I'm doing this because he's manager sitting plumbing and we're just doing him a favour and helping him out. I'm going to take these tops off, I'm going to replace them with an hard surface top, which is only 10mm. So we're going to need to take the tiles off, take the top out, the sink out, the hob out, get it all ready, and then as Tyler will be in tomorrow, he'll tile it, then we'll be back on Monday. We're going to take all this floor up, I'm going to put a new click floor down, and he's just transforming his little kitchen. Then he's going to have someone to come in and they're going to paint the units because they're wood doors. They're going to paint it all, and he's doing a kitchen at a fraction of the cost that it would have been if we would have had to rip it all out, redo it. So let's see how it goes. So the first step is for the tiles, move his cup of tea. You don't want to be getting carried away. I want to see how this comes off first. So I've got my tools, I think I need an hard scraper, because I'm planning to get out back of there, chisel, planning to get out back of there, a bigger scraper, scrape the tile adhesive off the wall. The first thing you need to do though, see the sockets so we don't damage them. You get an electric screwdriver, unscrew the socket, don't screw it right off because you don't want it electrocuting. What we're doing, we've loosened it off like that, purely and simply. When we take them tiles off, we take them off really gently and it'll just pop them off. What we don't want to be doing is going alpha leather on this, because you don't want to be replastering this. What we want to do is we want to make sure that it's good enough for this to tile on, and by taking your time, chipping them off bit by bit, chances are, the next thing is well, got fill kettle. Always fill kettle because things coming out. So water's going to be off. And if you've got a tradesman in your house, don't forget, make him a pot of tea or coffee. Do you know what I mean? First you work this. So to start with, I'm going to start with my chisel. I'm going to get in the corner there. And this is where we're going to see how it's going to pop off. Don't keep chiseling right in, because all you're going to do is push that chisel straight through that plaster and you're defeating the object. Go along it all the way at the top, bit by bit. So all we're doing is loosening it. See, like that, you're loosening it. If you would have gone straight in with your chisel, if I would have let Tommy Lee do this, he'd be through that wall by now. Do you know what I mean? In behind the chisel, perfect, beautiful, look at that. It's even took the plaster off. So I know now, all we're going to do is we're going to repeat that step by step. We're going to take them all off like that. Tile straight back over there, no need for plaster, no need for hope, job's a good one. Easy as that, carry on like that, go all the way around and then we'll take the tops off. So when we're getting round to this part, just keep knocking them off gently and then edge it out. So you need to take a bit more. Can you see where its chisel's gone into the hole there and it's made the plaster loose? Because that's firm. So if you just keep chiseling over, really gently, well, you got to remember, less is more. Do you know what I mean? And see that part? That's all right. Just fill that in with his adhesive. Fill that in with his adhesive. and we'll be able to tile straight over that. Take them out nice and gentle. Make sure that you don't slip with your screwdriver behind there. If you're a newbie to this, you could turn the kitchen ring off. If you're uncertain, then that socket can just be screwed back or left there. We'll leave it like that for the tiler. Tiler will come in, tile it, screw it back. Just keep going like that. Just remember, Rome was built in a day. The more damage you make, the more it's gonna, the longer it's gonna take in the long run. So if you do it like that, that's all right to tile on. That's all right to tile on. If you've got any bits, scrape it. And that's all you have to do. If you've got a load of tile adhesive on it, what you can do is you get a steamer, put a steamer on it. Once the steamer warms the tile adhesive up, it'll melt it back and it'll just scrape off flat. Or if you haven't got a steamer, water, put water on it, give it 5 minutes, it'll soak into it and then scrape it off. Easy as that. So when we're getting to around here, this is why we're loosening these sockets off, because if you would have tilted that, the corner of that would have split, then you would have had to get an electrician. Take it off, step by step, chisel, nice and gentle. See how it's gone through it there? So when it's gone through it, you need to go all the way along, and eventually it'll just pop off. And if you're struggling with one, just hit it like that, and it'll show that tile, so when we put chisel behind it, it'll come off in little bits. This lad here, he were one of the lads who followed me on ADA at 0.5p. By the end of the month, it should be $3. Look at the profit on that. We don't need to work, do we? We're like stock market gurus. Do you know what I mean? This is why we just can't concentrate. Can't think. But once we've got to this stage, as you can see, we take the tops off. Them walls, good enough to tile on. Tile straight back over that. Straight back over that. All the way around. All the way around there. Because all this is painted and they haven't PVA'd it, come off easy. So now what we'll do, we'll set about taking the worktops off here, this side. To take the worktops off, what you're better off doing, see how that's the dishwasher there? That, I presume, is the washing machine. Can you see how the doors drop? Yes, washing machine. Chances are there's going to be some brackets underneath them, so we may have to take them out. Oh, that's it, gone on there. So there is a bracket underneath there, right back. So chances are we might need to take the dishwasher out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my mowing tool with a metal blade, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut it off. And then when I put the new tops on, what I'll do is I'll stick the top to the top of the unit. So chances are, if there's a bracket behind there, instead of taking everything out, we'll cut them off, pull them off, and then when we put those new tops on, we're going to stick them in, because it's a different style top this. So check underneath.
Took all screws out.
You took them all out?
Yeah.
So underneath there's normally screws there, screw it back. If it's like how we fit, we put plenty in. But by the looks of it, they haven't hardly put all in. We've got one bracket here which we're going to get in and cut off. Chances are we'll have another bracket there, I ain't looked. Because whoever's fit this kitchen, they haven't put a lot in, which helps us. So we'll go ahead, take these off, and then we can start fitting the tops. People are always wondering, if you're new to my channel, why I'm always shouting. See there, see-through earplugs. And when I put them in like that, because I'm going to be reusing my router. Very noisy. So now I can't hear, you know what I mean? So I'm always shouting and then just get used to it. And if I don't shout, Lee don't hear me. He don't register. So that's what I have to do. So if you're wondering why I'm always shouting, that's why I'm always shouting, because I've got earplugs in. Might not look like it, but I do wear them. Because you don't want tinnitus. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be sat at home and hearing some drums in your head like that. Because you're using all this sort of gear all the time. Make sure you cover up. Handy tip. That's it. Everybody new to my channel who follow me always wonder why I'm always shouting. These are the reason why. See-through earplugs, because I'm using router today. I put them in and I'll keep them in all day, and that's why I end up shouting. But when I ain't got them in, I have to shout anyway, because if I don't shout at Lee, he don't do all. It's like a computer, it's like blockchain, what I keep going on about. That's why I'm getting into investing in it. It's like blockchain, you've got to program it. Once you program it, it's off. You know what I mean? That's why. Can't tell. But you need them, you don't want to be sat there listening at home and then hearing drums at night. Do you know what I mean? Thinking someone's coming after you because you haven't been wearing earplugs. Because remember, especially the router, makes some right noise. Protect. Everybody who follows me on TikTok, I keep telling everybody, whenever we do tops, it's really important to seal it. And this is the reason why this top's been in 10 years. You can see where it started going there. But normally what we find when we come to change someone's tops, because they haven't sealed it, all that's rotten, and that's why they're getting it changed. On this occasion, we're not changing them because the tops are rotten, we're changing them because they don't like them and they want some new tops. These new tops, what we're putting on, the sprucing the kitchen up. But because whoever fit this, sealed it, man after my own heart, it's perfect. It'll last another 10 years. And that's why it's so important, wherever you cut in a kitchen, to seal it. Otherwise it just rots them and it's no good. So, belts and braces. So then these are the tops. Now this is a new style top what people are going for. But see how rough that edge is, man. All the way down. So normally with a square edge top, you just miter it square edge. But see how they put a chamfer on it all the way down? All the way down. You're going to see that in your miter. So with this, now instead of doing a square edge miter, I'm going to miter it in so I can get a true line and take that lip out all the way down. Now I know a lot of people say that is wrong, but what you got to think is, am I even bothered what people think? No, I'm not. I want the best possible job, and I don't want I want this to glide over it. Do you know what I mean? Slide a penny straight over it, no lip, no bump, no cravat. I don't want to. These are the tops what we're going to be putting in. This is the new style. Everybody seems to be liking all these compact solid worktops. They're a pain to fit. As you can see, this come from factory. This is how they've finished it. If you run your finger on, you can feel bumps on it. So, like on a normal square worktop, you'd miter it square, flush to it. But on this, there's a slight edging on it all the way down. So if we were just to miter it up, when you felt that, it'd be that 1 mil or maybe 1.5 mil dip in it, and you could fill it. But what's the point of filling it? You know what I mean? We don't want to fill it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a proper miter on here. I'm going to take that edge off. That way we know that that edge is going to be perfect because I do it with my router. And then we're going to miter it properly. Now I ain't decided whether we're going to just use the dowels to stick it in or we'll use the little bolts. We'll see what's best. If we can get in underneath to bolt it, we'll bolt it. If we can't, obviously, we'll go for option 2 and glue it. but either way it's going to get glued and bolted. So we're going to router that off, get that in. So we'll cut this size to size first, and then I'll put a female in there and a male on the other side. Normally I would have just put top on, cut it, bish bash bosh, job's done, fitted. But because this got a little chamfer on it, I don't want to feel it. This top needs to be flat. I don't want to fill it. You can fill these. I've never actually filled one, but they say you can fill them, but I've never filled them. I don't want to get into the habit of filling tops, because what goes in must come out. You know what I mean? So we'll do it so we make it nice and tight, and we'll see how it goes. That's it. So for this, how I'm cutting these straight lengths, I'm using my circular. What you do is, see that? I've set it half distance through this worktop. Only, because this worktop's only 12mm, it don't make a difference whether it's 12mm. The tops, it's compressed hardened plastic or whatever it is. They're a nightmare to cut. You just blunt on your blades, snap their teeth off. So if you try to cut through that 12mm, where if it were wood, it goes straight through it. This, it'll struggle. You'll end up burning it out. This is a brushless circular. It's one of the best on market. I get shivers every time I pick this up after what happened. So it's always in the back of my mind. So always make sure you're safety with it. So that there, we're going to run straight along there. I've got a 40mm guide on it. So I've set my level 40mm in, clamped it up, it can't move. Benches supported both sides. And then I'm just going to run it through, and then I'll run it through the last cut, flip it up, and it'll be perfect. I'll show you that in a minute. That'll do it. So now I've cut it, as you can see, use my circular, twice cut. You see how neat that is? That is neater than they've done in the factory. That's factory cut, that's Mickey's cut. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know who's quality controlling that factory, but they won't sacking, you know what I mean? So nice cut like that. So because we want an edge on that, if you need an edge, we won't need one on this one. You just sand it very slight and it'll put the edge on it like that. Make sure you wear a mask, gloved up. And while we're on the subject, when we're using these clamps, my mate always clamps them like this, but really they should be like that. So now I've shown him live on video. Let's see how many times he does it like that. Because what happens if I would have slipped there and I would have gone down and I would have had an injury, wouldn't I would have stabbed myself. What would Tommy Lee have done then?
Laughed.
Would you have laughed, Lee? Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? Oh! When I chopped my fingers off, I thought it was funny. So we'll get this in now. In there, and this is where we're going to be putting them out of there. And then we can get the other tops out and get cracking. We best get cracking, otherwise we're going to be here while 10 o'clock tonight. To make us do even better, the tops are too big. He's bought 650s instead of 600s. It's a nightmare. But hard enough as it is cutting it down. I've only cut 2 down. Look at my blade, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? My saw's on fire, batteries are on fire, blade's on fire. It's a nightmare. These should be done in a factory, these. It's alright, these factories saying, oh yeah, you can have this, you can have that. It's the fitters who have to struggle to fit them. And I've got all the best gear. So if I didn't have the best gear, can you imagine what it'd be like fitting it? You know what I mean? Instead of a 10-minute job, it turns into an hour job. Especially when we're having to cut them all down. Not very good. Right. So now I've cut all the tops down to size. That one's on now. Don't really go with this colour door, but it's all getting painted. So I mark this edge here, because this we need to take this chamfer out. So I've marked that edge there, then I'm going to get my router and I'm just going to trim and mill off that to clean that blade up. Then all I'll do is I'll mark that underneath, cut that off straight, and then we'll just push them together and stick them together with resin, and that should do. So let's see. So he's got this stuff to use. I've never used this before, so we'll see how it is. It's 2-part epoxy resin. We'll mix it up, get it all there. I've routed all my stitches out. We'll glue them all, get them banged in, bolt the top up to it. I've glued just with my glue gun, them on there. They'll knock off after this glue will just peel off this. It'll just peel off the top, come straight off it with it, like that. And then we bolt it together. I can't film it and bolt it together because I'm going to need Lee to lift the top in with me. So I've just explained how I'm doing it now. So I'm going to mix this up, we're going to bang it in, and then I'll show you it done. And that's how it looks. Clamped up, 40 minutes, take them clamps off, knock them blocks off. And that'll be beautiful. Nice tight gap. Once it's cleaned off, won't even see that. Now, just got a mat sink out, cut that one. Then all we do, to get the blocks off, I've already took them ones off. Just hit it, like that. Take it off, feel the glue, scrape it off. And it'll just peel off.
And then don't get some as well.
Peel it off, don't worry about scratching top because you won't scratch it. That's it, and then all we do is sand it. Then all we do, to get the blocks off, I've already took them ones off. Just hit it, like that. Take it off, feel the glue, scrape it off. And it'll just peel off.
And then don't get some as well.
Peel it off, don't worry about scratching top because you won't scratch it. That's it, and then all we do is sand it. Tyler's been in, tiled it all. And then once all them units, all these doors and kitchens are going to get painted blue. It's looking good. What we're doing is, this is a hot water tank for the tap. So when you're attaching everything underneath there has got a marking on it. So you put the hot in the hot, cold in the cold. Make sure you get the ins and the out properly. Make sure you read through the instructions. There's a lot of different fittings off it, a lot of plastic off it, a lot of crap really. But then the instructions is like a Bible. Help if I could read, but never mind. No, I'm joking. Read the instructions, follow the instructions. We have to find some room in that cupboard for this and for all this pipe work. Why can't they just make it easy? Why can't they just put one pipe to that and one pipe to the tap? And then put the hot and cold into here instead of the tap? Make it complicated. Do you know what I mean? So listen, Bristan, you should have me designing them for you. because whoever's designed this is not very good, because what's the point of having like 50 million connections when all you need is one? All you need is go straight into there and then come out of there, hot, cold, straight to the tap. Very simple. Instead we're going from the tap to hot and cold, then from hot and cold to the tap, then from the tap to this unit, then from this unit to the tap. Do you know what I mean? I make things complicated, just make it simple. But apart from that, read the instructions, and then we just have to do it step by step. Clamp it all up, make sure it don't leak, and jobs are good. Then we'll have because what happens with this tap is, one side use hot and cold, then the other side is a kettle. So that unit will be boiling like a kettle. Now I don't know how cost effective these are, but they seem to be the rage. So we will see. We'll see how well it works. I've already hammered my hole out on the sink. I've drilled it and then used my hammer, like so. I chip it away at the side like that, which I've done. Otherwise the hole's not big enough. So we'll bolt tap on it now, and then we'll stick this sink in. The waste I bang on, and then we might have to just cut the shelves out of this unit to get it in. So we'll show you as we go along. So what I'm doing, we've got the tap on. This ain't come with a seal, this. And so I use my 785 silicone. Underneath the seal, top of the seal. Get that exact centre. Beautiful. And get your bolt. Now some people say, oh, I never silicone that. It's not them who goes back and fixes it, because they don't bring them back, they ring me instead. And then I have to go back and fix it, me and Tommy Lee. So we go back and fix it. That's why they think they never have a leak. Because once they've been in and they haven't done job properly, customer never wants them back. Don't over tighten it, otherwise you'll end up, see this part here, this is just a cheap plastic connection. You'll end up splitting that, and eventually that will just crack and drop. So after we've managed to get all these pipework through here, oh yeah! If you can see there, I put like a top hat on. That's just because we've got so much pipework. Can you see how there's pipes are bent there? That's how much we've had to push through that hole. I put the top hat on because it comes with it. It'll just stop the tap from moving. And then all we need to do is connect it all up. Jobs are good. Do the exact same with this thing. Exact same. Oh, they don't come with a washer, so if you don't silicone it, you've got the chance of that not being sealed onto the sink, and then when you fill the sink up, the water goes through it when the plug's in it. So it's only got a bottom seal, which is, that's hardened plastic. Do you know what I mean? What's that going to do? What's that going to do, Lee?
Nothing.
It's not even a rubber.
Usually it's a cock ring.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So we'll put silicone around that, do the same. Tighten them both up. And then the sink, what I'll do is plenty of clear silicone around that. And then we'll drop it into that sink unit, push it down, let the silicone dry, take it off. Job's a good one. And then the only time that'll come out is when this kitchen comes out. That's it. So then all we're doing, running a nice equal bead all the way along the edge. All the Frankie sinks do this now. This sink has got clips on it, but you're not going to get a clip on here. No point wasting time. See that, like that? It's like a work of art, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah.
And then, pull my pants up. Oh yeah! Lift the sink up. As you can see, that's that bracket which you've put on it there. And as you drop it in, drop the back edge in first. So we know that we bang on down the side, down the side. Give it a little wiggle on the chisel, visually look at it. Make sure all the corners down, make sure it's not going in the middle. And now that is like a work of art. Look at that. Even the waist goes straight bang on it. Boom. Now the only thing I might struggle with is getting a clip on that pipe, but if you can't get it on it when you're fitting this thing, you can't get it off it when you're doing maintenance. So that's why I like to do it after, because whatever I need to do to get the pipe on, I'll do it now, because if an engineer comes in and wants to work on it and he can't take the pipe off because you put it on before you put it in, it's no good, he's going to call you out. So if I can get the pipe on now, I know the engineer can get the pipe off in the future. I know I'm not going to get a call back. So it's all belts and braces. We're going to have to cut a lot of this unit out, I think, and we'll have to see where we go with it. So now the sink's in nice and tight, and we're going to measure that gap, and I'm going to measure that gap, and they should be the same. I like stuff bang on. If it's not bang on, it's no good. There's no excuse. Right, now don't touch that silicone, because as soon as you touch it, it flattens, it squashes, and then it sticks. Leave it. We're going to let this dry for an hour. I'm going to cut off out, and then I'm just going to run my Stanley off, and it'll just peel off. Everything underneath which we've squashed down, we've activated it, and that's how it sticks. If you leave it rolled up like that, it'll stick to surface, but it won't stick. As soon as you touch it and flatten it, it spreads out and it sticks. Then it's a pain in the backside to get off. So if you leave it like that, it's beautiful. That way, sink's fully down, no water will ever go through that. Once it dries, an hour, 2 hours, be able to work on it. Job's a good one. That's it. So in between is doing the floor as well. It says we'll put some new radiators in for him. We're going to put one on this wall. So look at the size of the rad. What we're going to do, just going to cut an hole in the wall there, and then I'm going to put my hand in and I'm going to feel where the braces are. And if there's no braces in, when we position this rad up, we'll get some freebie tube, find the brace, make sure that's fixed to a brace. You don't want that coming down and killing someone. I won't put them on plasterboard fixings. The only way to do it is cut a square out, find a brace, batten it, and then stick rad on. You'll never see it because you'll never get behind the rad. So the only way to know, we might find that depending on who built this wall, there should be some braces in. We might find it once we cut it, and then we can find out where it is. So we'll start, but we're not used to this manual labour no more. Can size that end up killing us, won't it, Lee?
Yeah.
That'll do. So what we've done is I found a batten all the way down. So we're going to bang that on there. I've drilled them all. Right, we know that's not coming off. So we're stacking it up. That's what we want, is a little bit of play to move it up and down and make sure it's level. So I've drilled it with a smaller drill bit. Then we just bang these bolts in. Feel sorry for if anybody takes that off. Solid. And again. Solid. Drill topper. We know we've got a good fixing. I'm using the fat wing nut for that one. We'll get this in and then we'll get level across bottom and then we'll do the rest of them. Like a dream. Before we put that fixing in, get your level on it. Make sure it's solid like that, get your level on it. Drill your holes. I've already done them. And then we'll bang the other fixings in and then the rad will lift on. Make sure you put this bracket on first, otherwise you'll struggle to hook it down. And then that's it, we're done. Right, so that's it, rad's on. Make sure there's a nice equal gap. Make sure it's level. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do, before I pipe it up there, I'm going to just take this floor up. I'm going to cut the floor up here. I'm going to see if I can get underneath. If I can get underneath, I'm going to leave it for now. I put the floor down, drill my holes through, and then I'll go underneath in the living room. Because it's a carpet, so we'll just pull carpet back, get underneath, bish bash bosh, rad done. So I've put this unit in, connected my hot and colds on. I'm going to loop them, put them on a clip there. This just comes out like that, and you take it off, push it back in, drop it back down. Got to have access. The pressure reducing valve I've put on there, just after the mains. Into the property. These I'm just going to clip back in cupboards so they're nicely clipped. They don't send no clips, I've only got 15mm clips, so that's what's going in. And it'll be nice and tidy. But I take it all back. It is quite a very easy unit to put in. Very easy. Beautiful. So, like I said, don't squash it down. How long's it been, Lee? About 2 hours or something?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 hours. Don't forget, you don't want to be cutting underneath it. Just along like that. And then all you have to do is just peel it off. Just peel it off like that. Like that. And then just rub your finger on it. It's See how nice and clean that edge looks now. With hardly no fuss. If you would have squashed it down, you would have been cleaning it off for weeks. But because we haven't, beautiful. Now this is one of them 3-in-1 taps. You've got your hot, you've got your cold. This is for the kettle. Boiling hot water. Still got air in it. We've got to pump it 30 times. Get rid of 200 litres. Or 20 litres is it. But when it starts, that'll be red hot water. We haven't turned it on yet, which is in the cupboard there. Can you see it? Got filter on, got everything on. Just need to switch it on after we've keep pumping it. Now me personally, I won't have one of these because I'd be too scared for my kids to burn themselves on them. Because no matter how many times you tell the kids not to touch something, they touch it. And this is going to come out at 95 Celsius. And I'm scared of my kids turning it on, or one of them will be in sync and the other one will think it's funny and they'll turn it on and burn them. So me personally, I won't have it, I'll stick with a kettle. But if you haven't got kids, it's a good idea for a cup of tea. Because all you do is just fill 1 cup up. Once you get rid of the air. And that's it. And then, I presume it stops at some point. Go at back of the sink, like so. And that's it. Same again, just peels off. Now if you flatten that down, you couldn't do that because that would be stuck all over. So always just leave it, go back to it and it's done. There you go, tap stopped. Eventually. I don't know why it takes so long to stop. I presume when you turn that, that gives you a certain amount of hot water which automatically comes out of the system and you have to wait until that finishes. That might be a kettle worth or a cup's worth or whatever's worth. I don't know. I won't get into technical details because I won't be doing them. Can't really. So this is why I couldn't film yesterday. I've done that rad, nice and neat. All this floor's been done, all the way through it. Someone else is doing the skirtings. All continuous run, all the way down. Worktops have all been sanded. Joints been done. All been tiled. And now the only thing what we're waiting for is all these doors have been taken away to get sprayed. So they're all going to get sprayed blue. There's his hot water tank. Red hot water for kettle, all hooked up. Floor was a nightmare trying to get it all in one piece all the way around. So it all follows. Lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed my video and thank you for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to give the thumbs up. Thank you very much, MJC Kitchens and Bathrooms.